Hey guys. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on the much wanted and requested, probably the most requested tutorial there is, which is the Twisted Sonic Double Bust, also known as Twisted Sonic Bust to Bak Rev. You'll notice that I am using a buster, but you can do this with any other pen, and I'm about to show you some clips of me doing the Twisted Sonic Double Bust with other pens as well, to show you that you don't need to have a pen mod such as a buster to do it. So the Twisted Sonic Bust looks like this. Twisted Sonic Double Bust, excuse me. You obviously want to master the Twisted Sonic Bust, which is that. And you also want to master a fingerless index round or a simple bust, which is that. And then you have to link them together, which is obviously the hard part that everyone doesn't get. But an easy solution is Vic Got Game. If you look at his Twisted Sonic Double Bust and Multiple Bust slow-mo, you'll notice, well, first of all, he has like the super wicked pro HD camera or whatever, so it's easier to see because his frame rate's a lot higher and it's a lot smoother than mine is. So I'm going to try to, if I can, stick his video in this video, as well as try to show you some slow-mos of my own double busts. But you'll notice that every time that you do a Twisted Sonic Bust, you end with about the weight somewhat the same just below the center of the pen. Now that's normal. It's supposed to be like that. The thing is that when you do another bust, you have to get your finger up here so that you can do another bust. And that's where the problem is with double busting, or multiple busting in general. So how you want to fix this problem is that after you do the first Twisted Sonic Bust, right before it finishes, like right when it's about here, like I always think about when I'm almost about to catch it like that, like a regular Twisted Sonic Bust, like it'll stop here. Just before that, like right about here, you want to move your finger up and not hit the pen, but you want to you just want to move your finger up and then let the pen go around it again, because that's how the pen will go. So again, it's a Twisted Sonic Bust, and then you don't want to hit it when it's like, you don't want to move your fingers like this, otherwise it'll just go like this, and then you won't do so good. So I don't know, I guess looking at the slow-mos is best, and seeing where the pen is once you have to move it again until you do that. One thing that I found out was that you have to make sure that your Twisted Sonic busts are consistent. Like if you do your Twisted Sonic bust and somehow you end up with, your fingers here instead of here, then you have a problem, because then every time you try to double bust, it won't be consistent. Also, when you do the double bust, you want to, what am I trying to say here? There is a little bit of air that goes on, as in your finger is not always in contact with the pen all the time, but there's a short period of time, very, very short, very brief, that after you do the first bust, and then it's right about here, right before you're about to catch it, and then you go like this, that when the pen goes around, there will be a little bit of air time. Like the pen will be flowing around your finger for a little bit. Maybe that's just how I do it, but that's how it works for me, and I get a pretty consistent double bust every time. If you look at like any other person's bust, they will have a little bit of a jerking motion like this or whatever to do the circular motion, and that is really the key to doing a successful double bust. timing is also very, very important. So you want to make sure that you look at slow-mos. Like, I'm going to try to post Vix again, or annotation, or video response, or whatever, to his video to see, so you guys can see where exactly the pen is going around the indexing it the first time, and then when he moves it, and where the pen is when he moves his finger a second time. So it's right about here, I'll say, that I move my finger up, and then, oh, also, a lot of people say it's a circular motion. In a way it is, but I look at Vix and his is like more like a straight line and a really short loop. Like, it'll go like this and then back, like that. Like instead of being a circle, his will be like first bust, second bust. Like, which I guess is a circular motion in a way, but it's not exactly a circle. Like some people say you go like this, which I found isn't right. So again, you just want to make sure that the pen is under your fingers, like when it goes down the first time, because obviously, like, I saw someone, I forget who it was, but they showed me a video of why they couldn't double bust, and the reason was is that they tried to move their finger again when the pen was like right here, and obviously you see the problem where if you go again, it goes like that, so like that. Geez, this tutorial's taking a lot longer than I thought, but I don't know, the concept is obviously simple, but it just takes a lot of practice. I'm just saying that after I found the perfect time to move my finger, I've been able to double bust pretty consistently for a while, which is how I've been able to do this tutorial so well. Also, try to work on it so that when you catch, like, notice where you try to catch the first Twisted Sonic bust, just a single bust, and then try to see where you end a double bust, and see if that is in the same position. If it is, like I just did, then you're in pretty good shape for multiple busting, which is, I'll try to get a tutorial on that when I'm better at it. Like, my record's only 5 right now, which I think is kind of bad. So I'm just going to try to practice to see if I can get more consistent busts. But the farther, like, after you do the Twisted Sonic bust or the Twisted Sonic double bust, and the further you are up on the pen, if you can do that every single time, the better, because then your finger doesn't have to move as much to get space for another bust. Geez, I'm at more than 7 minutes. So I'm just going to wrap this up. Again, you want to make sure you master the Twisted Sonic bust. If you don't get the Twisted Sonic bust, I'll say about 90% of the time, then you shouldn't try to do the double bust until you, like, at least get 90% success rate or above. Because obviously, if you can't do, you know, a Twisted Sonic bust, you're not going to be able to do a double bust. It's kind of like learning to walk before you run, that sort of thing. So take it in steps, learn the Twisted Sonic bust, and try to master it and get it consistent so that you always get your fingers at near the same spot on the pen every time you do the first Twisted Sonic bust. And then after you master that, try to do the point right before you catch it, right before it hits this back part hits your thumb flap, then you can move your finger over again. So just do it like that. Everyone has a different busting style, so you just have to try to find out what yours is like, and then you can just try to, you know, see what works best for you. I guess that's all yeah. Sorry if this tutorial wasn't really that helpful. I mean, if there's something wrong with it, try to tell me. I'll try to give you feedback and comments and stuff like that. I'm running out of time, so I'll just leave you on that note to make sure that you master the Twisted Sonic double bust, the single bust, and then Twisted Sonic double bust by timing when the pen reaches right about here after the first bust, and then instead of swinging here, as it's swinging, you want to push your finger up like that, and it'll go around the second time. It doesn't take that much force. The pen already has momentum from the first bust, so you just have to do it's not super light, but it's not as heavy as a lot of people think. Like, the force isn't as much. So just try to do that. Alright? So hopefully this tutorial was helpful. And if it wasn't, just put some comments, I'll try to help you.